Hi, I'm Nick Pawson and you're watching News 24 Live. I'm joined in studio once again by the Western Cape Education MEC, Debbie Schaefer, to discuss the matric results which were announced on Monday evening, and then the individual results were announced on Tuesday. Debbie, thanks for coming in again.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Last time we spoke, it was the week that matric exams had started. You guys were obviously very hands-on. Now that the results are out, Western Cape 82.2% down by 2.9% from the previous year. What were your initial feelings when you saw the figure?
It's never nice to see a decrease in anything, so we were somewhat disappointed. But when you take all of the factors into account for the 2014 exam, combined with the rest of our performance, we're not devastated, but we certainly will be looking to improve next year.
On a positive note, though, I saw that the Metro East region, there's been a huge improvement there. That's areas like Khayelitsha, Delft, Blue Downs, Kraaifontein. 60% in 2009 was the pass rate, and now it's over 80%. That's quite encouraging.
We have many encouraging stories in our system. That is very, very encouraging. We have been putting a lot of effort into that particular region. We have a very pro-poor policy in the Western Cape, and we have been putting a lot of resources into our underprivileged areas and our historically disadvantaged communities. We have a number of success stories in that particular district. The other success story we have is that all 8 of our districts have achieved at over 80% pass rate, which is the best in the whole country. There's not one other province where that applies. And 2 of our districts, in fact, received mention by Minister Motshekga, which was the West Coast district, which was the number 4 district in the entire country, and the Overberg district, which was number 5 in the entire country. So there's a lot of good stories. The other really positive thing is that we still remain the province with the highest percentage of bachelor pass rates in the country, at 38.8%.
Okay, does that mean matric exemptions?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, what would you attribute this drop in numbers to? I mean, what are some of the challenges that you are still facing as an education department?
There are many challenges anyway in the department, but in addition this year, there were several factors which I think had an influence on the figures. First of all was the first year, this is the first year in which the CAPS curriculum has been examined at matric level. And I do think there were some difficulties with that from various perspectives. And the other thing is, there were a number of subjects that had significant changes in them. There were also some papers that were extremely difficult. The maths literacy paper apparently was particularly difficult because there was an effort seemingly to dispel the view that it's not really that difficult. So by all accounts it was exceptionally difficult this year, and we saw quite a drop in that pass rate. The other factor is that we have a number of learners who had to be what they call progressed, i.e. pushed through if they hadn't passed, because of national policy that you can't keep a learner in a phase for more than 4 years. So we had about 3,000 learners who were effectively in matric who hadn't passed grade 11. So that was another factor. But out of that came another good story in that 838 of those 3,000 learners in fact did pass, and 19 of them got bachelor's pass. So that was a good story. And then the other factor is that there's for learners who write in a language other than the home language they study, they get what they call a language concession, which is now being phased out, and there was a percentage reduction in that concession this year too. So and all those factors together, I think, played quite a big role.
I mean, that was going to be my next question. I mean, do you think as a nation our expectations are maybe a bit unrealistic? I mean, a huge percentage of matric writers come from very sort of trying socio-economic conditions.
They do, but I think we could have done a lot better than we have as a country in the last 20 years than we have done. And yes, it is difficult, but we need to put that extra effort in and ensure that they get the assistance from a very young age, right from grade R in fact, to ensure that they improve in their language and maths. And whether it's unrealistic or not, I'm not too sure, but we need to improve the standard and quality of our teaching and learning. And we mustn't be too hard on our matrics, but as Minister Motshekga said, when we have improvements in quality and we're trying to make the quality better, it is likely that you will see a drop in the pass rate. So I'd personally rather have a pass rate slightly lower with a better quality education than just chase high pass rates all the time. Obviously, ultimately, we need to get both.